Salutations! My name is Jeffrey Hart and my 20% project is on flipped classrooms with a focus on video lectures. While my research started on flipped classrooms, my decision to implement a flipped unit this semester necessitated my focus on video lectures as they best fit the climate of the classes that I'm currently working with. While flipped classrooms seem synonymous with video lectures these days, in reality flipped classrooms are much more than that. In fact, there are flipped classrooms out there that don't utilize video lectures at all. For a good working definition of flipping a class, it's the process of removing direct instruction from the classroom and replacing it with rich application of content to foster student mastery. Basically, it's taking the teacher from the role of sage on the stage, or filler of student knowledge buckets, to the teacher as guide on the side, or facilitator of student understanding, typically through activity. While there are lots of resources for video lectures that already exist out on the internet, I strongly recommend that if you're going to utilize video lectures in your class, that you create them yourself. This is going to help you build rapport with your students, as when they go home to interact with content, they're seeing you instead of some stranger. When you utilize these video lectures, you can either choose to utilize them as front-loading content or getting students prepared for their next class, or you can utilize them to formalize content after a particular class activity. Another reason I recommend that you record your own video lecture content is it allows for a reflective practice. When you watch back your direct instruction during the video lecture, you can see things that you may have been doing unconsciously and therefore improve upon your educational ability by seeing those mistakes. Some benefits for students is that they can interact with the video content at their own pace, rewatching portions as necessary, or skipping content that they already feel they've mastered. Some barriers that I've run into while implementing my flipped unit this semester are student access to technology. While the school I'm working at has resources available for students to access the technology they need, sometimes student responsibilities outside of school prohibited them from utilizing those resources when they were available. The biggest hurdle, however, that I encountered was the changing of a norm. I'm sure most of you listening to this are familiar with how ingrained the routine is of students coming to class, getting told everything they're supposed to be able to regurgitate later, having an opportunity to ask questions when confused, and then leaving. The students I'm working with were very attached to that routine, and some of them were quite hesitant to be interested in this change of pace. Fortunately, I can report that after implementing the flipped unit, all of my students claim to prefer this new method of interacting with content. The last hurdle was time. It took a large initial time investment in order to develop the video lectures to use with my flipped unit. Fortunately, I feel I get that time back in spades from the fact that I'm now able to more efficiently use my in-class time to dive deeper into content understanding, and also I can reuse those video lectures for future classes, only having to redo lectures that I feel I can improve upon later. While I would love to get into this topic more, time is short, so here are some resources that you can look into in order to further your understanding of flipped classrooms. Also, if you'd ever like to discuss the topic, feel free to contact me, as my email and Twitter handle are provided below. Thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.